Hi, today I'm going to go over 4 different tips that I've got for you that will save you money over time as far as budgeting is concerned. So, these are things that you're going to work into your lifestyle to the point where you don't think about it anymore and it just becomes practice and it saves you money. If you're new here, hi, my name is Alicia, and on this channel, I like to talk about organizing, decluttering, budgeting, and sometimes I will share some stories that involve one or more of those things. So, let's get started on these tips so that we can go about our day. Tip number 1, use what you have. Now, if you're like me, and I'm definitely guilty of this, you might have multiples of certain things. Bath and Body Works, anyone? Lotions, makeup, etc. Try to use what you have before you go and buy something new. I'm going to show a little video of my collection of Bath and Body Works. And I had a little slap in the face, so to speak, the other day, and I realized I do not need to go back and get more until I go through most of what's in that basket. So if you've got a whole lot of stuff, a little collection going on, use what you have before you buy more. One, sooner or later, that stuff's going to start going bad because you just have so much of it. So that's one really great reason to use what you have before you go and buy more. Um, Two, it just saves you money because you're not constantly buying more and more and just having this collection. Three, it's also saving you some real estate, so to speak. And when I say real estate, I mean space that could be used to put more things or other things into that same space. Um, that's what I mean by real estate. And I'll probably use that term a lot. Uh, that's basically just what it means. It's like you're using up space that you could be using for something else that is more pertinent or relevant to your life. Um, Guilty again. I also have a collection of Mrs. Meyer's dish soap and all-purpose cleaner and hand soap because for some reason they just got my number and same thing. I got to go through it first, use up what I have before I buy more. It helps when Mrs. Myers doesn't have a new scent on their line. But I'm guilty. So, if you're guilty too, we got to use those things up. Tip number 2, when you leave the house for an extended amount of time, try to bring a snack and a drink with you. I've learned this the hard way, and so now I've got a very big, oh god, what are they? Corksicle. You can use your Stanley, you can use whatever you want, but try to bring something that's going to have some water, protein drink, whatever, so that when you're on the road, you've got something to sip on. I also learned the hard way that I need to have protein bars or some kind of bar in my bag when I leave the house because far too many times I've been caught in a situation where I'm starving, my blood sugar has dropped, and 'cause I have low blood sugar, um, and I've got nothing, and it gets real bad. So try to bring a drink and a snack with you whenever you leave the house for more than like one errand or something like that. Because usually, if you have just one errand, you don't really need all that. It's more of a want than a need. Um, but if you're running several errands, it's a good idea to have that because it's going to deter you from going to a fast food place to go and get a snack and a drink, which saves you money. And it also kind of saves you some calories if that's what you're going for. So this is something good to bring into your lifestyle. And if you're a coffee lover, maybe bring a little bit of an iced latte or a hot coffee with you on the road so you're not going to Starbucks, and spending that money there that you don't really need to spend money on. And honestly, their coffee's not that great. But yeah, anyway, so try to bring a drink and a snack whenever you go out on the road. Tip number 3, stretch your detergents and your shampoos and your soaps. So, what I mean by that is when you get for pump soaps and when you're down to like very little bit left of like your shampoos, if you have poured out what you could of your laundry detergent, add a little bit of water. These things are already formulated where you can add water and you're not bringing in mold or anything like that. There's a whole reason why they put preservatives in these things is to deter that from happening. So with your hand soaps, for instance, that are pumped, when you get down to like a quarter of a bottle, add. You can eyeball it if you want to, but if you're not good at eyeballing, then get like a measuring cup or something like that, and add about 2 tablespoons of water to your pump soaps, and give it a good shake, and that stretches you about 2 to 3 more uses, sometimes 4, and over time throughout the year, you've pretty much added up, depending on how often you're using this stuff, but you're pretty much adding up to a whole 'nother bottle of soap that you saved. When it comes to laundry detergent and you poured out what you could and you've done, like, the whole upside down thing, if you've done that where it balances so you can get as much as you can drained out, add a little bit of water just to get the rest of that soap out. That's not going to stretch as much, but it's good practice to have because it empties out whatever's in there, so that you're not wasting however much. Because at the end of the year, okay, with the laundry detergent, okay, don't come for me in the comments. Yeah, you're not going to save a whole bottle at the end of the year, but you will save at least, a cup of detergent, which is still substantial in my opinion. Um, shampoos are definitely formulated so that they're not going to get moldy if you add water into it. That's the whole point of a shampoo and a conditioner. Same thing when you're in the shower, just kind of position it in a way where you can get some water in there, give it a good shake. You can get at least 1 or 2 more uses out of that. That's going to save you at the end of the year another bottle of shampoo or conditioner. So when you get to those types of levels, add a little bit of water to give it just a little bit of stretch because, like I said, over time, it's going to build up. And tip number 4, before you go grocery shopping, look around your pantry and your fridge. I've mentioned this once or twice that I am definitely guilty of this. I use my example of the balsamic vinegar that I use, but I don't use a lot. And for some freaking reason, I've got like 3 or 4 bottles of this sitting in my pantry, and I don't know why. Well, I know why, because I didn't look. So before you go shopping, look and make sure you're not getting multiple bottles, triples, quadruples of something that you don't really go through a lot, but you use. That way you're not spending the money on something that you don't need that's just going to sit on your shelf for like 2, 3 years. Does it go bad? No. It's going to take like 20, 30 years before that stuff goes bad. But the point remains that it's sitting there taking up space and it's money I could have used to buy something else. So before you go grocery shopping, check your pantry and check your fridge and make sure you don't have a bajillion of something that you thought that you didn't have, and then you put it on the list and then you go and buy it and then you put it away and you're like, oh, why do I have so many of these already? Damn it. So just take a look before you do that. That over time will save you money too. So these are my lifestyle tips to save you a little bit of money throughout your day, week, month, and year. They're not hard budget tips. It's not something that you write into your money budget, but it's something that over time saves you money. And then, you don't notice it as quickly when you're going through your budget and your bank account and stuff. But these things are practices that over time will save you a few pennies here, a couple dollars here, whatever. And then at some point you'll start realizing, oh, I do actually have a little bit more pocket change than I used to have because you're practicing these things. All right. So I hope these tips helped you out. And if you like this video, please give it a like. And if you have a hype button, please give me a little bit of a hype to help me out. This is a small channel. I'd like to grow it. And if you feel like subscribing, please do so. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.